I've lost count. It's been so long since we recorded the last one because we had some audio issues.
Some technical difficulties.
Yep. We recorded a whole
We're still having
best episode yet, and Alex just lost.
Yeah, I think this will be the third time we've attempted to review this book.
Yeah. I don't know. This time it'll go well, right?
Oh, it better. This is frustrating.
We quit.
We need professionals. We need somebody that knows how to run this stuff. We got all this fancy equipment and don't know how to use it.
Yeah, I didn't realize audio engineering was this hard. I just hope we sound decent to you guys. It looks like on the program.
Well, it says we're recording, and I see little green lights and yellow and red going up, so we're good. Please
I see
good.
beeps and I see boops.
Okay.
Enough for me.
What are we doing?
So today we are going
Welcome to DB Toxic.
100%. I already did the intro.
I know.
Today we're going to 100% review at least chapter 1 of this book. We brought it up in the past. Everything is... It hasn't been 5 minutes yet, so don't cuss.
Well, they haven't heard about this book yet. This is the first episode that's out, even though we've recorded it 3 times.
We brought it up in the second episode, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
I
brought
don't
it
remember.
up. That's when you called me out. You were like, and somebody didn't read the book.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
And called me lazy and a bunch of mean names.
But you did really good on these notes. You put these notes together and actually...
Yeah, you inspired me. This book is written by Mark Manson.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it's a book about hope. If you want to check out our website, we've already done a book review on the website.
On our blog.
On the blog, yeah. We did some blog posts, weekly blog posts. But this time we're going to take through at least chapter 1 for you guys, see if you like this kind of thing. Maybe we can start doing podcast episodes as book reviews instead of blog posts, but you want to do both, right?
I want to do both.
You want to do both, all right.
I'm not busy enough.
So do you have anything, or do you want to jump right into it?
No, we hope that everybody gets involved with us, starts doing these with us, and we'll have some interaction, maybe some call-in type setup. Our setup has that ability, so we can do some call-in stuff, and we can talk about this book together.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, one of the podcasts I listen to, they have a voicemail box. So they just let people call in, leave their voicemails, and then they go through and they listen to all the voicemails people leave.
Oh, yeah?
And they pick things to talk about, like, here and there throughout all the voicemails.
So you can edit out the mean people?
Yeah. Yeah, so we don't get somebody
we don't get mean
on
people.
the podcast calling in live being like, you...
Yeah, beep, beep, beep,
Beep, beep, beep, beep. Yeah, we don't even know how to censor ourselves yet, so...
Okay, where are we starting here?
Chapter 1. Chapter 1.
Introduce ourselves, explain what we're doing.
Did I not?
Talk about the blogs. Hey, you're right on target.
Yeah.
Good job. Chapter 1. So, you have on here the story about Pilecki and the concentration camp. Being heroic is the ability to conjugate hope within people.
He starts out the book telling the story of a Jewish man who was living in the concentration camps.
He actually got caught on purpose, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So, it's a good story, and it's been a while since we read it, but yeah, not too many people wanted to get in there, right?
Mm-hmm. And nobody talks about the story for some reason, even though he really was a hero among the Jewish people at the time, because he was the sense of hope that those people needed living in the concentration camp. He was the one sneaking food to people. I think he was such a good person, he was even on good terms with some of the Nazi, people, some of the Nazis themselves.
So you're talking about hope is necessary to find meaning in life.
Yeah,
so
that's why he starts out the book with that story on Pilecki, is because he was the hope to the Jewish people to make them feel like there was still some meaning in their lives.
That they could get out of there.
Even though we're not all living in concentration camps, same is true for us. We still need hope to find some kind of meaning. So I would say
in the worst of situations. I mean, that's a pretty bleak situation.
I mean, even not in the worst of situations, you still need hope. I mean, we'll go forward to talk about more, but you need hope to keep yourself going, man. You need something to look forward to and something to believe in.
Yeah, whether it's religion or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it more, but like
Yeah,
even
we'll
the
get
next
into
bullet point is anxiety is created by hopelessness. So if you don't have
I have
anything,
anxiety though. I worry about things too much.
but ever since this whole thing with Montana and your guys' retirement plan has been brought up, I've noticed since you have that hope of moving up there, you seemed a lot happier to me. Is that true? Would you say?
I just hope I don't have to work for the rest of my life.
Yeah, see, it's a hope though. And
Yeah,
you're
okay.
working towards that goal, which gives you some kind of meaning in your life.
Yeah. So jump into the three things.
Okay, so he goes on, still in chapter 1, to talk about the 3 things we need to build and maintain hope. Number 1 being a sense of control. Number 2, a belief in the value of something. And number 3 is a community. So number 1 is sense of control. What do you think that means? Like, you need to have your act together, you need to know your limits, you need to know the law, all of that.
How do you find a sense of control in tough situations, or like if you lose your job, or financial struggles, or weather and stuff? I mean, you lose that sense of control. So where do you find? So the hope is
Keeping yourself contained and like not letting your emotions.
so in the weather situations that have happened with the tornadoes and flooding and whatnot. So you lose everything, but you still have this thankfulness because you survived and you got your family or friends or whatnot.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's more of a financial control, or it's just a control over your life in general.
So on a deeper, you're like, okay, everything's going to be okay. We can
Even if
replace
things
a
go
lot
wrong.
of that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's the way it's going?
As for me, not really. I mean, are you asking me as
No.
a person?
If somebody is in that situation, I don't know, we'd have to talk to somebody that's, had those type of
I
situations.
mean, it definitely helps you feel a little bit more hopeful in life if you have some fallback plan and you have control over your life.
Well, these fires that happened,
Oh, it should
like
recently.
people, the Marshall Fire, and then people lost everything they had,
And
and a lot of it, can't be replaced. Insurance doesn't cover enough, or whatever the situation. Where do you find your hope? Because you lost control. You couldn't control that fire. It took away a lot of people's livelihoods.
well, I think that's where step 2 and 3 come in, because step 2 is a belief in the value of something. If you don't have that sense of control, and if like things go wrong, and you lose all sense of that control, if you believe in the value of something, and you still have a community based around you, you'll
You
be
said
okay.
3 things are needed: sense of control, the belief.
Yeah.
So, belief in something. We're going to be all right. We can start all over. It's got to be tough. I mean, the emotions are got to be so raw, and I think, when you lose control, something like that you don't bring upon yourself, that is thrown upon you, whether it's the fire, whether you lose your job. I mean, what kind of control is there in that situation?
It's definitely a lot easier to feel hopeless as opposed to feel hopeful, which is why he brought up these 3 steps, is because, I mean, it's really hard to have
I think he
all
gets
3.
into it deeper, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what, like you said, chapter 2 and others will
I mean, it's
kind
only
of
chapter
dig
1.
deeper into what these all are about.
Mm-hmm.
Because, things that you and I have been talking about, you say you need a sense of control, but, I mean, how do you control those things? There's things that life is going to throw at you, you have no power over.
Well,
And that's why I've always said, and I've told you before, that don't make more problems, because life's going to make its own for you.
Well, there are things in your life you can control, and there are things in life you can. Like the people surrounding you, that's something you can control. The amount of money
Who your
in
friends
your
are?
bank, for the most part, you can control that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, the people surrounding you, the amount of money in your bank account,
Is that
I don't know, your own, what do you
motivation?
call it? I was going to say like body odor or something.
Your own motivation?
Yeah, your own motivation. There are things in life you can control.
If you want, right?
If you want to. And honestly, if you stop controlling those things, then you start to lose hope.
Okay. The belief and value of something.
Mm-hmm.
Some people believe in money.
A lot of people
religion.
do believe in the value of money,
family,
religion. Yeah, family, the American dream. Yeah.
What
the
else?
White picket fence. Yeah. It doesn't matter what your value is. I mean, as long as it's positive, that is.
Well, values would be like how you treat people,
how you
your
choose
work
to
ethic.
treat people.
You know, those values. You value honesty. You value integrity. You know, so I would say values would be a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, he'll kind of narrow that down in this sense of hope. You know, how does values come into play?
And he does. He does.
And the last one?
The community.
Community is the people you hang around, the church you go to.
Yep.
What else?
And he doesn't bring up the size of the community. You could have one
person, a good friend or something.
One person to 10,000 followers. Like, as long as you have somebody, and somebody that will treat you like a human being and will always be there for you, whether it's 1 or 10,000, even, I mean, I would argue that you could be your own community. Does that make sense?
Well, I don't mind going to a movie by myself. Some people can't do that.
Yeah.
I'll stop by Wendy's and grab a couple burgers and throw them in my pocket and go to the theater, and I'm sitting there watching a movie, eating my Wendy's.
Confessing to a crime.
That ain't a crime. What they charge for popcorn is a crime.
I mean, if you don't have a best friend, be your own best friend, right? Build your own community.
I am my own best friend.
Yeah.
Me, myself, and I. I don't know. But then I think, loneliness and all that can creep into your life if you don't have a social situation.
It depends on the person. For a lot of people, yes, that will happen. But there's some people that really do just prefer.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I grew up where we actually went outside and played kick the can and different games out in the street when you could
kick the can.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't even know what that is?
Yeah, I know what kick the can is.
Do you?
Didn't even have a soccer ball?
Yeah, we play soccer or ride our bikes and
Why'd
stuff.
you play kick the can if you had a soccer ball?
That was so fun. No, kick the can was you don't know what it is.
Oh, did you not actually? I assumed you just.
It was like we'd get a coffee can and you'd put it in the middle of the street, and you had somebody that had to guard it, but then you had teams. It's been so long that if they caught you when you were trying to kick the can, you had to go to the prison or whatever. But then if somebody was able to get to it and kick it, then those people were free.
Why don't you do that with a soccer ball?
No, that ain't it. You're
sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, you're a lost cause. Okay, so let's talk about, are we going to keep diving into this? Or do we want to talk about some other things?
Let's just keep talking. I mean...
Okay, some of the things we want to do.
First of all, if this video ever goes out, let me know what you guys think. I want to do an episode where I teach Dad, Papa,
That ain't what you call me. Call me old man.
I want to try and teach him Gen Z humor.
I have no idea.
Gen Z humor.
Gen Z, is that
Gen
like
Z talk?
Generation Z?
Yeah, I'm a Zoomer.
Oh.
Sounds like a slur. You
okay.
Zoomer.
Gen Z what?
Talk.
Talk.
Like, for instance, if I say, that guy is a Chad. What a Chad.
A Chad?
A Chad. That guy walking over there, he's a Chad. Do you know what that means?
I don't know what a Chad is. I know a Chad that happens to be my supervisor.
Is he a Chad?
That's his name.
Okay. See, that would be really fun. I want to do that episode.
Is that good or bad? Cause
I would argue it's a good thing.
Well, I hope he... Oh, okay. As long as if he sees this.
Like an alpha male.
Oh.
Big, buff dude. That,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Okay, we can do that another day. So, and you know what I want to do, right?
yes.
I want to give away a camera. So, did we talk about it? I don't even know. We talked about it, I think, in the first or second episode where we went through some growing pains and getting all this studio stuff set up.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to start giving away the cameras. So, if you have been watching us, we would encourage you to start following us on the YouTube channel and on Facebook, right?
And on Facebook
and Instagram.
Instagram, yep.
So depending on how many people we get, we'll probably take everybody that's already following us
Mm-hmm.
and throw their names in a hat, and we're going to draw a name out
On camera.
On camera,
On camera.
and get them one of those cameras.
And
That'll be our first one. We
Let's
have
do
2 more
one.
to go after that.
let's do one for each account we have. We do one for Facebook, do one for Instagram. We'll have to wait for Instagram to pick up.
I was going to say, there's like 4 people on there.
Well, right now, technically on YouTube, there's none. So,
Let's hope there's more by the time this comes out.
yeah.
Well, that's why we need to put out the message on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about things we need to do when this video comes out, should have been done.
Yeah. Yeah, we're recording in
We're
bulk.
recording the past.
Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of content creators do.
Oh, it's okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's no
Okay.
big deal. As long as we try not to talk about current events, because
I
people
don't
don't
want to
like
talk
it.
about current events. I've been stressing a lot.
You shouldn't be. As soon as you move up to
Hey,
Montana,
here's the thing. Look at what's going on in this world. I am so glad I'm trying to work my way on the downside. And you and your sister have got all this stuff to deal with that, I don't know, you seem to be in good spirits. Maybe it's just my mental issues.
me, I don't pay attention to politics, or I should probably pay a little bit more attention to politics.
I don't know.
But
No.
I don't even have
Till you get your draft
a
papers.
news. Oh boy. That's when the microchip in my brain from the vaccine is going to get activated and I'll become a robot. The U.S. Army.
They're going to put a rifle in your hand and send you off.
Yeah, I'll be boop, bop, boop.
I hope not. God, that would suck.
No, that's a joke. That's a joke, people.
Yeah, chill out,
Yeah.
please. Having fun is okay.
You know, we can make jokes. We like to have
All
fun
right,
here.
what else? So interviews. We need to get some interviews going. I have talked to your grandmother
Mm-hmm.
about trying to interview her. First, she says, I need to see the questions. Well, there's really no questions. We're kind of fly by the seat of our pants, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, as I told her that, and then she's like, why do you want to talk to me? Why do you want me on camera? I said, because I grew up with you, and the things I went through is what, made me who I am. And, that's the big reason for this whole business and stuff, and the YouTube channel and all the things what we're doing. Because I want to take what I've experienced, first figure it out, learn, from it, and then become better, right? Be self-aware, and then work on those things. Because DB toxic, the things you said, Dad, you're being toxic. Mom, Dad, you're being toxic. It was funny because I was talking to the people that fixed the window, and she was saying, yeah, there's this kid that my son or daughter knows, and he comes over and whatever, and he said his parents are toxic too.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't even want to be at home. I was like, yeah, it's probably more prevalent than you even realize. And you guys tend to be more
Uplifting?
sensitive to it or see it.
Oh.
I don't know. But as far as, so I was talking to Grandma, my mom, and telling her that thing. She's like, and she had a rough life. She's, my dad was violent alcoholic, so she got the brunt of it, and PTSD and stuff. And she doesn't want to talk about it, which I can understand. So I'm telling her, I don't want to relive your horrors, your hell, and things you went through. Because it's things, she has depression and severe stuff. And so I was like, I'm not wanting to go there. Anything you don't want to talk about, you don't need to. I want to learn about me. I want to talk about what did I go through, what had happened to me, stuff about me, right? Which, of course, is going to bring up
Because
bad memories too.
You were talking about that, like, you don't remember a lot of your childhood because you think you blocked it out.
Yeah, and there's that book on PTSD. I think we should go through maybe next and find more clinical type stuff. And hopefully the professionals out there might get involved and, you know, give us some comments or give us a ring, or the people that want to get on our resource page will reach out to us and we can start getting that thing built up. You know, it's sitting there on the website with nothing in it right now, and hopefully this will spur some of that. But so I was telling her that, and she's like, well, I want to see questions. And I said, well, you know what? We'll try and figure out some of that. And then she goes, well, I said, do you want to dress up or what? And she's like, what do you mean? And she goes, she thought it was just voice. And I said, no, we're going to be on camera. She's like, nope.
Well, what I'm hoping is eventually the video is obviously going up on YouTube, right?
Well, can't you do the podcast at the same time? I thought that's
how it worked. What do you mean?
Worked.
Yeah, the video with audio included is going up on YouTube. That's
right.
how YouTube videos work. They have sound. But I want to try, and I don't know how it works, but I want to try and get a Spotify and maybe an iTunes, and then we can put out the audio-only version on iTunes and Spotify.
That's the podcast.
To reach out to...
Right?
Yeah, that's the podcast, yeah.
That's what I just said.
What?
Nothing. Yeah, we wanted to do podcasts in conjunction with the YouTube.
Yeah.
So it'll be available on sound only or with video.
Do you think there's a difference between the YouTube video and the podcast? It's the same thing.
I know. Okay. No, one doesn't have video.
It's just because there's video included. It's just a
on
video
the YouTube
podcast.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Joe Rogan's video podcast
is on Spotify. Oh, I thought the podcasts were just audio only.
I mean, a podcast is just people talking.
Audio.
For a period of time.
No video.
No, you can have an audio or a video podcast.
I didn't know that. I thought they were just YouTube with video. Podcast, audio.
So what do you think this was going to be called? What do you think this was going to be called? Us talking back and forth with video.
It's YouTube. It's
Podcast.
Our YouTube channel.
A YouTube podcast.
Oh, I don't know.
You're a funny guy.
Don't make fun of the old man.
Well.
So we're talking about that, and we want to get Casey on here. Something else I want to try and do for Casey. Yeah, she's freaking hilarious.
She is
guys.
Awesome.
She's hilarious, and she's got stories, and she's a tough old gal. But something about with Casey too, though, is she was in the rodeo big time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she helped start the gay rodeo up here in Denver, Colorado.
The gay rodeo?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know she was involved with it. But then there's a bar down in Denver and everything that helped sponsor her and get the equipment they needed. So she's got stories. Oh, God. We can't even...
No, don't spoil anything. Because she is
well, here's what I want to do. I want to call the Rodeo Hall of Fame down in Springs.
Because she's a part of it, isn't she?
I don't know if they know who she is or not, but I'm thinking that gal should be in it for what she did for this.
Oh, 100%.
And she tells me stories about these guys and things they would say. She's like, rope that calf, I need a new pair of boots.
I don't even know what that means.
My God, it's hilarious.
I'm a city boy through and through, so
I can't wait for that stuff.
It's a whole different planet to me.
So we need to do that stuff probably this next month in March.
Mm-hmm.
So
before you and Mom go up and you never see
and maybe the audience can help us out with this. How do you do this stuff when he's here and I'm there? How are we going to set that up?
We'll be able to figure it out. I already have a good idea.
You know who could figure it out, because I've seen them doing it, is they've had guests.
I already have a good idea.
Who? You think
me as a person? I have an idea.
Hold on now. You know, they've had guests on there or somebody doing their video in a different remote location somewhere else, and then they've been together So and they got 3 images on the screen on the right side, and then the main screen, the main picture. It's a pretty cool setup I got.
Who?
You know who I'm talking about?
XLR?
MXR?
Good luck reaching out to them.
Why?
I mean, we could shoot them an email, but...
Yeah. Or there's people out there that would be willing to help us figure it out. We got all this equipment. I hope we don't have to buy all new to get another setup put together up there. You'd have one here and I'd have one up there?
Yeah.
I mean, can't we do it through the computers?
Discord is the best way to do it because Discord generally has or Skype, I guess, but Discord is probably better than Skype nowadays.
Is that a Skype? Or is that it's just a different video? It's
basically the same thing as Skype, but you can do a whole bunch of things at once. Like, we could be typing back and forth to one another, and we can do video and audio so we can see each other.
I would say we need to be able to see each other, talk,
and we
get us both up there at the same time.
And we can have, like, it only recording us while we can be doing things on the side.
What about the website?
So we can still use
So we can do this?
Well, Ta-da. That's why you have the black box.
Ta-da! Is that cool?
I'm not sure. And like you said, I'll email Joe Rogan and be like, hey man, how do you do it?
I don't know. Think he's very popular right now?
No, I'll email Trash Taste. They're a little bit more...
I don't know who these are. Joe Rogan, I don't know. I don't listen to him, so I can't really say anything. I thought he was on TV at one time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's big in the UFC community.
Oh.
He does UFC casting.
Yeah, not real familiar with him. What does he talk about?
I want to get into UFC. He talks about everything. He talks about... The only thing is people don't like him because he does go as far as to, like, get into political debates. And he hosted the political debate between Biden and Trump this year.
Oh, really?
At the last
WWE
election.
Debate?
Yeah, oh man, there was a WWE thing where some dude dressed up as Trump and he got into the ring and, like, started beating people with a chair.
He didn't get his butt kicked?
I think it was actually Trump in the ring,
We better go away.
Well, we're not saying anything. I'm just saying WWE is awesome.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Need another sponsor.
Also, how do you go from UFC to WWE?
What's UFC? Oh, Ultimate Fighting. Or UFC is Ultimate Fighting Champion?
Championship.
Championship?
Yeah.
That's martial arts.
It's UFC is a combination of... I'm pretty sure you can use any kind of martial arts.
I didn't know you were into all this stuff.
I'm not.
Oh.
I'm just pretending.
Yours. Okay, let's call this one. So we're gonna try and keep these things at a half hour because
I feel like
I don't know if we're organized or not. But
I feel like we do worse when we try and plan things ahead as opposed to when we just talk back and forth.
Do you think anybody's watching this right now and just hasn't flicked the channel?
I think...
Nope. Thumbs down.
I think episode 2 is going to be a rough one to get through.
Why?
It was so awkward. I was
if they're here, they made it. Oh, because you weren't
Or if
nervous?
they did what I did, I skipped episodes I didn't like.
Okay.
Because episode 1
just
is a banger. Okay.
Let's call it.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Time to go home.
Leave a comment.
Fade to black.